6 months I kept this key safe. I barely felt it left my sight. It just sat on my windowsill, collecting dust. Until the day finally came, August 2020. My mum and I hopped in the car around 9 a.m. I remember I was shaking with nerves. As we pulled up to the school gates, I started to think about all the things we'd missed. The people we never said goodbye to, the fun we never had. And then the memories started flooding back to me. Let me set the scene for you. It's a Monday morning. I'm probably running late because I didn't finish my homework or I couldn't find my earring. I run in through the school gates and start making my way through the corridors until I get stopped by my teacher and told, Maddie, please don't run. So then I end up doing this dodgy fast walk through a few more corridors until I get to my tutor room. I go in and I say hi to my friends, and then I go over to my locker to find out what lessons I have that day. I open the door to find out I have maths. I hated maths. I never learned anything useful. Like, who cares if Max brought 3 crates of 60 apples? I shouldn't be legally forced to work out how many there are. Anyway, even though I felt like this most of the time, there was actually one skill that I actually became very, very advanced in, and I will forever be grateful for my teachers for helping me become so advanced in that skill, and that was lesson skiving. You see, most Mondays I'd be going to maths. Bye, miss, have a good day. Yeah, I'm going to maths now. And as soon as my tutor was out of sight, I was back doing my dodgy fast walk through the corridors, going in the opposite direction of my maths classroom until I get to the toilets. I'd meet my friend in there, and we go into the cubicles and lock the doors. I still remember the cold air coming in through the open window, giving me goosebumps, and the overpowering smell of toilet bleach I could taste in the back of my mouth. You'd think it would be enough to put us off, really. Anyway, we'd sit and we'd wait in silence. Oh, the only sound coming from the automatic air freshener. That thing gave me a fright every time. Seriously, I'd just be sitting there and then suddenly I'd hear the loudest shh, and it would scare me, so then I'd go, and then every 5 minutes it would be shh. Anyway, we'd have to be careful, but usually we could get away with writing notes and passing them under the cubicle doors as a way of communication. Another thing I loved about this skill is the fact that I never got caught. Not once in 5 years did a teacher fine me. I remember my friend got caught one time while trying to clean her shoes in the sink. I know, it sounds ridiculous, but she had to get the mud off. On that particular occasion, I managed to curl up my legs onto the lid of the toilet, and I just shut my eyes and I just hoped that the teacher didn't come back in and find me. And yep, I got away with it. Yeah, of course, I always had to make up a million excuses for why I wasn't in class. Oh, sorry I missed your lesson, miss. I had a really, really bad headache. Oh, I'm so sorry I was late to your class, sir. I had a very, very important meeting. Usually, they wouldn't mind. As long as I showed it to their next lesson, then it wouldn't matter. Now, another memory from school that I will never forget is from this one chemistry lesson we had. Now, another subject I didn't particularly enjoy was science. I just thought it was boring and unnecessarily, and I just didn't really understand it. Now, I say this, but I had my moments of excitement, and this mainly came from experiments. I loved them. Getting to dress up in the lab coats and the goggles, and you got to have a chat with your friends while you did it. What's not to love? Now, I remember this one specific experiment that we did that involved a Bunsen burner, and we had to heat up some metal to see if it changed colour or something like that. Now, I remember the guy working next to me decided that it would be a great idea that after heating up his metal, that he put it down directly onto the table while he wrote down his results. What happened? Well, the piece of paper and half of the table went up in flames. It was quite spectacular. I remember we all kind of just stood there really awkwardly because we didn't really know what to do. And then my teacher came running over and he was like, "Get out the classroom." And then the fire alarm was going off. And then more teachers came running in, panicking with fire extinguishers. Shh, shh. And I was just standing outside watching all of this panic happen in front of me and thinking, what the hell am I doing? Stuck in the middle of rural Sussex, heating up some metal on a fire and hoping that it changes colour. Anyway, I remember we weren't allowed to go back and collect our things until later that day, and I found all of my workbooks covered in soot, and I made the stupid mistake of going and shoving them back in my locker without cleaning them first. I ended up turning my locker into what looked like an explosion in a newsagent's. Part of me wonders if it still looks like that now. As I made my way down the long and empty corridors, I go back into my tutor room and I saw it. There it was. And I opened the door with anticipation and found nothing. It was all gone. The pages and pages of conversations we'd had in the toilets, the workbooks covered in soot filled with hours and hours of work just gone like it meant nothing. I'd already missed out on so much. This was my last hope and now that's gone too. After all this time, the key had no purpose after all. They didn't care. To them, it may have looked like a pile of old books and loose pieces of paper. But they never knew how much that meant to me.